and today we are looking into production's court schedule, what he has coming up in court. If you guys don't know, I've been following this case with production and Llips, a very prominent content creator who sadly was unalive last month. We don't have many details on what exactly happened, but we do know it was at the hands of his own husband, production. Now I was able to get a little bit more insight about what's going on with production behind bars, what court hearings he's had so far, and I'd like to keep you guys updated every couple weeks or so to see where this is going, okay? If we look at the screen, I showed you guys this before. He's being held without bond, which means you can't go up there and bond him out, okay? Due to the nature of the crime, possibly. I don't really know. I'm not a judge. I'm not the person that denied him bond, but there's no bond. As you can see here, $0.00. But when we look at his charges, it says aggravated assault, possession of firearm or knife during commission, and felony unaliving, right? So this was put here after the fact. This was not here, but it was placed here after the fact. Now, when we look into his court schedule, we'll see that that's not even there. So I don't know if it's not updated in the court schedule yet or what, but the only two that we see charges for in the court schedule is the aggravated assault and the possession of firearm or knife during commission. There are ways on the internet that I've looked at that you could send him mail, you could write him. I'm still debating whether or not I want to get involved with that one or not, because a lot of people have a lot of questions. Mind you, a lot of people love Llips, a lot of people love production. I want to keep it as safe and as from a third perspective as possible, but people want to know what happened and what the heck is going on. All I do know is that this is taking people by surprise, by storm, by shock. And Llips has had his memorial, he's had his balloon releases, and I think it's finally starting to sink in for people that he's not coming back. And that's just not a good feeling. But at the end of it all, I think we can learn something from this case. But let me pull up his court records. Okay, so this is the case information that I was able to find. Okay, so the state of Georgia versus Cameron Hefner. It was filed on 4/17/2025. I blocked out the attorneys and the judges' names, the addresses, and things like that. State of Georgia, he does have a court-appointed attorney. And when we look at production's charges, we have aggravated assault and possession of firearm or knife during commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies. So here's the statute. You guys can look it up, and it says date 4/16/2025. So they probably haven't updated it to include the felony unaliving yet, but as of the court system, it's not in there yet. So the bond settings, it was on 4/17. I think that's the day he was arrested. There was no bond set. No bond set, okay? So you can't get him out if you wanted to. Here are his events and hearings. 4/17 was his arrest warrant, the warrant application. His first appearance in court was 2 days after 4/19 at 8 a.m. On 4/21/2025, he was ordered his first appearance hearing. The next day was a subpoena. On the 28th of April, he had an appointment of counsel, which was the state-appointed counsel. And on May 2nd, he had his commitment hearing, and it was bound over, which means that the judge found sufficient evidence to take this to trial. He found sufficient evidence to say, hey, we can make this a criminal trial. This can go to court. There is enough evidence in this case to take this to court. And this is all I was able to get from the court system on production. As far as I know, there is no bond that's been updated. There's no bond hearing that's been given because I don't see it in the system. But I will keep you guys updated with